So thank you for joining us today. It's Wednesday, November 6th, 2024. So what's been happening? What's been going on at the market? What have you guys been experiencing?
There's still lots of buyers out there.
I love that, Tina. There's a lot of buyers out there. So what do you mean by a lot of buyers out there?
There's still serious buyers looking for homes that really want to get a house.
I love that. So all you agents out there thinking that the market's slow, take it from Tina. Tina said there's serious buyers out there. So I love it. Anyone else wants to share before we move forward?
Same thing on Facebook.
You know what, William? That was such like an encouraging post. I love it. Yes, I love that. It was such like an encouraging post for all those realtors out there. Like William, I love it. It was like, go do it. There's buyers out there. I love it. I love it. Perfect. Any more before we get started? Going once, going twice? All right, move on. Keep in mind, this is our first time in this room here with the new clicker. So if things kind of go awry, understand this is the first, okay? So you're doing good.
Slide modesty is a.
Yeah, follow the circle. There it goes. That looks different. There's just a little delay as it's loading up there. All right. There it is. Yes. Tell me something good. What happened to you guys last week or this weekend or this week? What happened? Something good. Something good. I want to hear from three of you. Wow. Quiet room. Nothing good happened to you guys? I feel sad. Oh, Howard. Howard. I love it. I love it, Sonny. Howard. Tell me something good, Howard.
His mouth is full.
Besides enjoying those delicious chocolate chip cookies, man.
Something good, the cookies.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So what else is good, Howard?
Listening.
William knows everyone's business. I love it.
I think that you lesbian over in Chino Hills.
Okay, perfect.
We will have an open house this weekend.
You will. Awesome.
It's right on top of the hills by our old office.
Okay, nice. Okay.
It's 12,000 square feet lot.
Wow.
Like,
Okay.
so
Okay.
4,000 square feet. Very nice house. Very secluded. Very quiet and asking for only 1.895.
Only, I love it. I love it. Only 1.895. That's pocket change. Seriously, I love it. I love it.
The inflation, I think everyone.
All right, I want to hear from two more. Tell me something good. I mean, I get.
We have a future agent right here. That's something good.
Oh, yes, yes. Mr. Silver right there. It's my son. You probably recognize him from Instagram and Facebook because he pretty much owns it. So as you can see, he's really focused on his blippy. So he's in the zone. Yes.
And that's a future agent, right? Top producer.
Yes, very future owner. There it is right there. Yeah, sure. I gotta build the empire so now you pass it on to him, right? Yeah, it's him and his sister. It's thinking like fight over it. I'm kidding. It's gonna be divided 50-50. Yes. Yes. All right, two more. Tell me something good. Come on. Gals.
It's not good.
It's called tell me something good, not tell me something bad. What's going on here?
I did an open house.
Okay, that's good. That's already a good start.
My boy was helping me.
Okay.
He's very helpful.
Yes.
And I scraped a car in front of it. Just a little scratch. I
Uh-huh.
was like, oh my gosh. And then there's a guy who said, I'm gonna be your tip. I'm gonna this if you have to put that. And my boy was like, down. So I put a note, hey, I'm sorry, I apologize. Give me a call or whatever. So they haven't called me, but I feel very sad because my boy goes there to help me out and then suddenly. What did you do? And he just got his license.
His driver's license? Well, okay, well, this is a lesson learned.
There,
Uh,
we did some, and she went.
oh, nice. You got your witnesses. Okay, awesome. Okay.
And then.
Okay, but how was the attendance? Were there like people that came to the open house?
I think that twice, Friday and Saturday, possible like 10
Okay, good,
follow up. Some of them.
awesome. Okay, that's good. I mean, the other stuff may not be so good, but the fact of having prospects, I think that's good. So the story turned, it had a sunlight at the end of it.
I know.
Yes, for sure. It went through a storm, but at the end, the light came. I love it. All right, one more. Tell me something good. Oh, we have a new president.
Yes.
Yes, yes. So I mean, depending on, I mean, yeah, I mean, hey, yes. So, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, you guys are still gonna get up the next day and still do what you do anyway. You're still going to work and support your family and pursue your career and all that good stuff. So regardless of who came in the office, you know, you're still gonna do your thing. So as a leader, I have to stay neutral. I can't be that kind of person, but I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I just want the best for this country. So that's it. Perfect.
Amen to that.
Yes, thank you. Yes. Any other chummy summer goods before we move forward? Going once, going twice? All right, moving forward. Are we moving forward? There it is. All right. Our mission statement is to build first with having business worth owning, lives worth living, experience worth giving, legacies worth leaving. To be the real estate company of choice for the agents and their customers. God, family, then business. All right, our belief systems. I want to hear from 3 of you. Based on these belief systems, what's going to be going on with your life personally or business-wise? So, want to hear from 3 of you. What's happening? Love how you guys like look at these as though they changed. Like they're still the same. Yes. All right, Brandon.
Teamwork.
Teamwork, together and when she's more. Okay, let's talk about it.
You have a solid team, whether, you know, escrow, title, agents, home inspection. I mean, the list goes on. Smooth transactions, you know, closings, everything happens in the right direction. So definitely think teamwork's, I mean, the main thing, one of the main things in our industry.
Absolutely, for sure. It's always great for you to have a great team. Awesome. I want to hear 2 more. Where is the guy asking for money or something, Tom? I was like, I have $500. Like, I know Tina just had a closing. I know she's good for it. All right, we're here for 2 more. Come on. You can choose from any of these here. More than one. Yeah, I love it, William. Communication.
Yeah. I wonder how many times you call if you're a listing agent, how many times you call the selling client before you accept? How many times? Many times, yeah.
I mean, especially if it's a really strong offer, I'm calling them.
I think
I'm calling
within
somebody on
5
the phone.
days, I called this guy
You know what I mean? Thank you.
50 times.
I'm sorry, you've called him 50 times?
Yeah, I called this guy 50 times.
Did you text him too and email him as well?
Yeah, everything.
Did you call their office?
I do, no, not necessarily call his office, but
Okay.
it's a cell phone, yeah.
Yeah.
So I try to understand, you know, I know I priced our house higher.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I know it's gonna be really tough sales
Mhm.
because also the seller is trying to get some profit out of his living.
For sure.
So that's why I have to make sure that both parties are communicating well.
Well, absolutely, and this
We
agent
find-
submitted an offer on your listing, right?
And, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
so eventually, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, William, especially if it's the only offer that you have.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely call as I can, and like you said, if they are still not answering, I have to get the broker involved, then I'll do that as well too.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the agent's doing a disservice for their client, right?
yeah.
So you may have to get the broker in there and say, listen, you know, your agent's client submitted an offer on my listing. Your agent's not responding. They're doing a disservice for their client. Can you get in touch with them? What do we need to do? So that's what I do. I've done that before, especially like small brokerages and stuff like that. I've called brokers before and had to get things moving. Because again, you know, they're doing disservice for the client.
Right.
So even though they may know that the offer may not be accepted, but still, you still have a right to represent your client, right? When you have that contract, the contract gets signed, you're a representative for them, right? Your fiduciary responsibility at that point. So, all right. One more. All right, Tina.
So I would say teamwork. Yeah, so,
Brandon already said that one. You have to say another one.
oh.
No, the rules. Yeah, they choose another one.
See which one fits, I think, integrity too.
Okay,
Like,
Integrity going.
Yeah, like, last week, then he came to my, seller's house.
Oh,
to
wow.
Take care of the, the seller opening package, seller escrow opening package. And she did a great job. She was on time and then she explained like every little paperwork and solar, so very, very happy.
I love that. Awesome, yes.
It
Awesome.
is integrity.
Yeah, that's integrity, and I also put that in teamwork in there as well too, so, and also communication, also put that one in there as well too, right?
Right.
So, love it. All right, anyone else wants to share before we move forward? Mauricio,
Yeah, there's one. Number one, win one year.
okay.
I want to point out that we should be love, or love, no deal.
It should be love or no deal?
No love or no deal.
Love or no deal?
You gotta do what you do, love.
Okay, okay, all right, I can,
Else it's not gonna be a deal.
yeah. Okay. I mean, we can talk to GK about that and see if he wants to make some modifications about that. Love or no deal? Yeah, love it, yes. All right, a technology company that provides a real estate platform that our agents, buyers, and sales prefer. Keller Williams, think like a top producer, acts like a trained consultant, and focuses all its activities on service, productivity, and profitability. All right. It's a good sound. All right, it's my favorite part of our meeting. America's favorite game show titled. Right. Say it again. Yes, I'm your host, Karen Glory, along with my lovely co-host, Daisy Riz. Daisy, who are two contestants today on our favorite game show titled? All right, let's get some chairs for you. Actually, let's stand. Yeah, stand, yes, yes.
Ticket ending in 8798.
All right, come on down, Mr. Mike Garvey. Yes. All right. All right, Mike, you get to pick. Where do you want to stand? Do you want to stand here or do you want to stand here? All right, down here, all right, awesome. Perfect.
8799.
8799. All right, come on down, Sonny. Yes. Yes. So you get to stand here. Nice. All right, so let's go and see what our property of today is. All right, this lovely home is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home, 3-bath home. Square footage is 2,320. Located in what city? Because we're in what city? Yes. So this home was built in 1981. So obviously you see it's a 2-car attached garage, a lovely backyard. This home closed within the last 2. So this home closed in the last 2 weeks, located in Chino Hills, right? Located in Summer Rent, it's yeah.
How many days on market?
That's a good question, Mike Garvey. So this home actually happened to be on the market for a while, actually. It was on the market for about 69 days. So the home was on the market for about 69 days. It closed within the last 2 weeks. So what happened in the market in the last few weeks? What did we see?
Very quiet.
Pretty quiet.
No love.
Okay, I mean, but did we also see activity within the last 2 weeks? You've seen more people come to open houses last 2 weeks, right? Interest rates are kind of not that great, right? But for the last 2 weeks, we saw activity, right? So I want you to think about that, you know, when you guys are thinking about price. So 4-bed, I'm sorry, go ahead.
What was the size of the lot?
Oh, yeah, it's a great question. Size of the lot is 8,625. It's 2,325 square, 2,320 square foot. Lot size is 8,625. So, yes,
Which part of Regina has that been?
a very desirable area of Chino Hills.
The
Very desirable.
whole area is in that.
Is it? I love that. I love that. You just like an agent, right? It's like, hey, I want a good area of Chino Hills. They're all good areas of Chino Hills. Like, what area do you actually want? Yes. So, give me way too much. This is awesome. This actually happens to be a page that printed out without a map. I love that. It's amazing. All right, so without giving away anything too much, I would say, okay, so in this area where this property is located, it's pretty close to the office, it's not too far away. That helps you. Okay? Not too far away. Yeah, yeah, so there's something big around the area that people like to move. Yeah. All right, so 4 bedroom, 3 bath, 2003, 20 square feet, lot size 8,625, 2 car attached garage, 2-story, sold within the last 2 weeks. All right, so we are going to go with Sutton. 4 bedroom, 3 bath, 2003, 20 square footage, sold in the last 2 weeks. Name that.
I'm gonna have to guess it.
Okay, okay. Yeah, okay.
980,000.
980,000, okay. So, okay, I like 980,000, that's a little, that could be something special. 980,000, okay, so before I go to Mike, I would like 5 guesses from the audience. So we have 980 from Sunny, so I want to hear 5 from the audience. Pearl. 1.05, okay, all right. All right, 4 more. Ratio? $1,035,000?
Yes.
Okay. All right, 2 more. I mean, actually 3 more.
1.75.
1.75, all right. Okay, 1.1, okay, and 1 more. 1.2, okay. All right, perfect. All right, Mike, you heard Sunny said yes, you heard the audience guess.
I'm gonna go 1.05.
1.05, okay. You know, that was the first guess. Who did 1.05? Okay, perfect, all right. So the actual retail price is sold for $1,033,000. Yes, all right. So, the closest to this prize would be Mike Garrity. So congratulations. Yes. Perfect. Now, Mike, your prize is the next person that calls, texts, emails, comes in the office, sends a smoke signal, and they're looking for an agent that's looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate, or lease, you will get that call. So congratulations. Perfect, perfect. All right. And buddy, you know the deal. No one leaves my game show without winning a prize. So a lot of things that leadership and I have been talking about the last few weeks is getting back to the basics. One of the things is getting back to the one thing, which is very important, right? So you get to leave with your very own copy of the one thing. So congratulations. Yes.
I already have it.
Awesome. So you still get to leave with your copy of the one thing. Yes. So now you have 2. So now what you need to do is you need to give it to like now you need to give it to your hottest new client. So you give it to your hottest new client. Yes. Yes. Exactly, for sure. It comes from a place of contribution, right? Especially what happens this month. What always happens this month. Thanksgiving, right? Thanksgiving is all about being thankful and gratitude, right? So use as a way to show gratitude to the person that's helped you. Awesome, perfect. Yes. And Mr. Mauricio, 1,035,000. Wow. How did you get so close like that? What do you, Mauricio, what's your secret? What do you do?
I was lost lady in the beginning.
So I see Mauricio's in the office at least 3 or 4 days a week.
As you guys know, I have a listing for 127 days in Chino Hills. It's still no selling. So I've been doing some homework on pricing, why we not selling? And there's no difference. It wasn't lack of love.
What?
Lack of love.
Lack of love. Okay, well, let's sit down and see if we can find some love, for sure. But I mean, I love the fact that you were literally off $2,000 from the sales price. That's amazing.
I was close, huh?
Yeah, you were super close. That's great. So I see Mauricio at least 3 or 4 times a week. And Mauricio's always checking on what's going on with the market. Obviously, one of the reasons why we have a long-standing listing, but we will sell it. That's what we'll do. But that keeps them updated what's going on with the market. So do like Mauricio. Every morning, Mauricio checks on the actives, what's going on with the market. You guys do that. You guys become more knowledgeable about your neighborhood. And then when people ask you questions about the market, you'll be able to give them valuable information. So love it. So let's get a hand for our contestants today. I gotta be sensitive because I don't want to like tap this accidentally and all of a sudden it disappears again. So yes. That's my wife there. She's looking for my son. Yeah. So that's my wife. name is Bryna McGlory. Let's give it up for my wife. Yeah. What's up? Yeah. Hey, Pops, Sylvie, look, who's that? Hey, he's good. He's like, yeah, let me see. Oh, whatever you want to do, Sylvie. If you want to stay, if you want to go, whatever you want to do. No, I'm kind of wants to stay. All right, perfect. So let's move on. All right, so let's give it up for everyone born in the month of November. So let's give a hand for all our November babies. Yes. All right. Jim Brown. Hey, guys. Amazing OP and Roper born in the month of November. I mean, November is a cool month, but we all know the best month of the year is June, right? We all know that, right? Yes, absolutely, for sure. Yes. All right, so let's give it up for all our November anniversaries. Yes. Happy St. William right over there. Yes. All right, bucket fills. This is an opportunity for you to fill someone's bucket. Someone might have encouraged you to keep you going on, maybe probably some great advice, or someone that taught you off the bridge of leaving our real estate industry. So I want to hear from these two of you. Come on. There's two. All right, Tina, thank you. Don't embarrass me in front of my wife, please.
Just want to say thank you to Tom. He arranged a pickup, some trash for me in Brea, and then he stayed there for me to wait for the guy to come, because I had a meeting, you know, and then I left, and then he stayed there, and then he ended up picking up some trash for me.
Wow, that's amazing, Tom. Talk about going above and beyond. Yes, I love that. Yeah, I love it. Yes, I love it. All right, perfect. I want to hear from one more. Wow, I swear I actually got for money or something. What's going on over here? Yes, come on. You guys talk to each other, right? Yes. All right. See my family later. All right, love you. Wow. Remember my boy? Bye, bud. Thank you for hanging out. Mwah. Love you. This is why I do what I do for those people, those amazing humans right there. We're short ones. She's gonna pick up the other one.
That's your why.
Yes.
That's your why.
Yes, that's my why, exactly. So I don't know why I said that. Now I'm all emotional. That was stupid. That was stupid. Let me get back. Let me get back to my zone. My zone. Okay, perfect. I need one more. I still haven't forgot. Bucket fills. I need one more bucket. Come on.
Okay, I'll do it.
Thank you, gals. Thank you for being a brave individual.
You.
Oh, geez. Didn't I just tell you I don't get emotional? Now you're gonna get me emotional. What are you guys doing?
You are the greatest, your enthusiasm is like, yeah, keep going, so. If we ask for help, do that for us.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it drives me. I mean, I want to see you guys all succeed. At the end of the day, that's what I want for you guys. So yeah, thank you. Awesome. You want to one more bucket fill before we move forward? Got one more? One more in you? One more? Uno más? Uno más? Yes.
No mas.
No mas? No Moscow? Okay, perfect. Well, hey, you know what? Those are good bucket fills, so I appreciate that. Perfect. All right. So this opportunity for you to wait like 40 seconds while this video is going. Actually, this video doesn't do it, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to read it to you. Pitch your listing and then fire. All right, perfect. Now I'm in a room full of realtors. So I know there's at least 3 of you guys that have some listings or listings coming up, or maybe you talk to a seller and say, hey, no, if you offer this price, I'll take it. Come on. Tina, I love it. You're getting started there. Yes.
So next Wednesday or Thursday, I will have a new listing coming up on the market. Next Saturday and Sunday will be my first open house. It's in Chino Hills, right by Howard's listing, Sycamore Heights. 3,400 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, swimming pool. And the kitchen is very nice because she redid the kitchen.
Mhm.
And then we're painting right now.
Oh, it's okay.
So it's gonna be very attractive problem.
Oh, do you have views?
If I have views, no view,
Okay,
no view.
okay, what's the price?
It's gonna be about, we haven't determined the price yet, but then we talk about it. It's gonna be anywhere between 1.5 to 1.55.
Okay.
Asking.
Nice. That's pocket change. I mean, people are walking around with that all day. I love it. Awesome. Any more? Any more picture listings? I'm in a room full of realtors. That's kind of what you guys do every day. Mauricio.
Yeah, last weekend, I was the one in Xperia is, 2,600 square feet. The lot is about, 14,000 square feet. The garage is no longer there, they've got an implosion, so we set it to 528. And yeah, we said, 2 days ago, thanks for the referral from Q.
Hey, Mauricio, you're in the office all day. That's what I do. If you guys are in the office all day, you guys get these opportunities, right? So I love it. And he already listed it. Literally 3 days. I love it. Awesome.
And behind that, that's it, that's all I got in the area. You guys didn't like it.
It's not the fact that we don't like it, Mauricio. We just have to find that buyer that loves it. That's what it is. We all love it. We would love to buy it. We just have to find that buyer that wants to. That's what it is. And we will. We will. All right, one more. One more pitch listing.
Who has a listing right now?
Well, you have to be more specific for Mr. Tom Moore. Listings. Listings. That's what it is. Yes, yes. Howard?
But I already said it.
He said it to tell me something good. Perfect, okay. All right, going once, going twice? All right, so next meeting, I want to hear at least 5 of you guys to pitch your listings. That's the challenge. All right, TCPA. So if you guys are making calls, make sure these people are not on the do not call list because you get fined $500 to $1,500 per violation, meaning the phone calls you make, they don't have to answer them. So definitely keep that in mind. And as much as I love you guys, I'm not paying your bills, okay? I got a family, you know, they love to go to Disneyland all the time. And you guys all know how expensive the mouse is, just saying. He has his hand right in my pocket, right there on the 4th of every month. It's like right there in my pocket, yes. But it's worth it though, right? Right? It's worth it? Please remind me it's worth it, okay? It literally happened yesterday. Please remind me it's worth it. Yes. All right, so our upcoming events, Mr. West, he like pretty much like runs my calendar now. He like owns my calendar. I love it. So he does an amazing class called Ignite. If you guys have not checked it out, definitely check it out. Wes, you know, goes over, you know, the different topics, as well as there's some lead generation aspect of it too. So 11 to 12, you guys are actually making phone calls, sending out messages, and you're doing it in a collaborative environment. So definitely pop in, you know, we're here. And yeah, we just want to help you guys succeed and get you guys on a system. So definitely doing those Ignite classes. And if you've done it before, there's no problem with you going back to it.
How will this handle?
Howard.
I'm going backwards. I want to fill someone's bucket now.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna go to the audience. Should we allow him to fill someone's bucket? Okay.
I want to thank Wesley for helping me because remember I need the translators?
Yeah.
And he actually helped me on the translator, so I was able to successfully close my list.
There you go.
Oh, wow. That's good. All right. Let's make it connections for agents to get paid and close their deals. I love it. I love it. That's a huge bucket fill. That's like
It is.
2 bucket fills
It's
right
a-
there. Yeah.
It's a 100-gallon. That's why I didn't.
Yes.
I
I love how you like thought of it now, you know what I mean? Like, when it was a point, you're like, oh yeah, he did, okay, yeah, he did help me with a big transaction there, that's awesome, yes. All right, perfect, so next Tuesday, I'm gonna be talking about, hey! This is totally like this past Tuesday, interesting, but I am doing a class next Tuesday, it's gonna be on how to become super specific with your farm in terms of what type of materials you need to actually present in your farm so you can actually get that attraction and actually get those clients. So yeah, so just ignore the how to grow your farm and it should say grow your super specific strategies to your farm. So we'll make sure to send that out this week so you guys will have it. So, perfect. All right, so we have a class tomorrow with our amazing modern title team. They're gonna be going over how to finish 2024 off strong to start 2025 off right. I love it. So you wanna talk about that?
Yeah, so basically what we're gonna kind of go over, what we're gonna go over is wins and losses of 2024, right? At the end of the day, we want to see, we try to get better. So whatever we decided to do, whether it's systems in place, programs, our farming, technology, or what areas that we've been at, we definitely want to be able to grow for 2025. So we want to kind of just reflect, look ourselves in the mirror and be like, what did we did great? What did we not do so great? What did we say that we were gonna do, but then we never did? So it's kind of just a good reflection on how we can kind of go into 2025 strong. So.
Yeah, I love that. And I think a lot of agents don't do that reflection part. You know, especially we were so focused on the wins and the catching up. We really don't get that part where we actually reflect in terms of what we did wrong or what we didn't do and said we're gonna do. So I love it. So if you guys definitely have time, definitely stop on by and let's go over your wins and losses and strategies for success. Yes, guys.
Is that our address,
Yeah, right here.
our permanent address or just?
No, it's our address that we're using now.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that to you gals. Like, oh yeah, go to this other place that's not existing yet. We wouldn't do that. It's not nice.
Here.
Yes.
In person or Zoom?
Whichever you prefer, gentlemen.
Okay,
It isn't.
okay, it's via Zoom. Okay,
Okay.
because I spoke about it and then I don't know if we have this room or the moving parts or anything.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we can make it happen.
Tomorrow
Whichever.
will be,
So it'll be
via-
Zoom tomorrow.
Okay, it's via Zoom tomorrow.
Okay. Perfect. All right, so real estate market update with Kiera McGlory. That's me. Perfect. All right. So real estate market, list inventory year over year. If we're looking at the purple line, which talks about the listings, is it trending? Is it trending up? Is it trending down? Same level? What's it doing? Agents, come on, please answer the question. It's very, is it trending up, down, or same level? What's it doing?
Slowing down.
Alright. It's slowing down, right? Typically, we see this over this time of year, because what happens during this time of year? Holidays, exactly. So real estate goes in the back burner, and people are talking about when to visit family or go on amazing trips and all that good stuff. So yes, so we've seen listing inventory slow down. All right, now if we're looking at buyer demand. So if we're following the purple trending line here, is this going up, is it going down, or staying steady? What was it? Steady, okay, all right, okay. Now, expected market time, meaning that when a home comes on the market till it's actually being sold. If we're looking at the purple line here, where's this trending? Up, down, or staying steady? Yeah, staying steady, right? Yeah. All right, so if we're looking at the listed inventory of luxury in San Bernardino County is anything over $800,000. Don't laugh, Tom. Please don't laugh. Okay. Yes. So if we're looking at this purple line here, and if it's trending, is it trending up? It's going down, staying steady. Staying steady. Yeah. All right. So if we're looking at demand, buyer demand, and if we're looking at this purple line here, this is it's kind of interesting, right? So this is just trending up, it's going down, staying steady. Going down, which means there's less buyers in this price point. They're looking at homes that are $800,000 or more, right? So this is information you need to share with your clients that are thinking about selling their house. Or your buyers, you know, they're looking at buying as well too. Now, if we're looking at expected market time for luxury homes, right? Is this trending up, is going down, or staying steady? Which means what? What's longer?
Out of the market.
Exactly, right? So we saw demand going down, right? And we're seeing inventory or days on market go up, right? Because we're dealing with less buyers. So homes are naturally going to be on the market longer. So again, this is information you need to share with your sellers, because when your sellers are like, oh yeah, sure, Tina, you're going to take my, well, Tina's different. She's special. So we'll say agent A that takes this listing and they say, oh yeah, you're going to sell my property in a week, right? Like, well, based on what's trending, there's a possibility we'll be on the market longer. Obviously, you're gonna do whatever you can to sell the house as fast as you can, but you wanna make sure you give your clients realistic expectations, because it's better for you to shock them and surprise them. Like, oh my gosh, wow, Tom, you got my property, in escrow in a week. You told me that it could possibly take, almost 200 days. Like, yes, I got it that fast, right? But you set them up with expectations, as opposed to the vice versa, where you could have said, oh yeah, I'll sell your property in a week, and your home's going to market for like a month. And it's like, shoot, I should have shared this information with you. You know what I mean? So that's why it's very important for you guys to use this data and this facts, because you don't want to be in a situation where, you know, unfortunately, you know, the home stays on longer than what your seller expected. You know, and I give you these reports every 2 weeks, because I want you guys to be able to give a running timeline of what's going on with the market. So there's no doubt of, oh, well, you told me, you know, 4 months ago, you know, that the market was selling hot. It's like, well, I update you every 2 weeks to let you know what's going on with the market, to keep you updated. Oh, all right. So now is our opportunity where we get to have our Mega Agent Spotlight. I've had the opportunity of knowing this gentleman for years. He's always been someone that's always willing to help others. He's taken on multiple leadership opportunities within Keller Williams. He's absolutely crushing it this year. I love everything that he does. I follow him on social media. I am a Tom Moore fan. Hashtag more listings, hashtag more escrows, hashtag more buyers, hashtag more sales. Thank you, Tom. Hashtag more sales, the volume sold. Please put your hands together for the amazing Tom Moore. All right, Tom, let me get you a chair.
I was gonna say, I'm used to standing where you are, not being on the hot seat.
Yeah, put your chair there.
Are you gonna sit with me or what? Okay, cool. All
Yeah,
right.
it's a conversation, Tom.
Good, all right.
I'm not gonna just shout at you. You know what I
Are
mean?
we on Zoom?
We are on Zoom.
How's my hair?
Yes. You know your hair looks just as good
About
as
like
mine.
yours.
Yes, your hair looks just as good as mine. Yes. All right, so Tom, while I'm getting everything ready, very first question I want to ask you is, you know, who's Tom Moore?
Well, that's a loaded question. So.
Let's start with I guess we'll go within like the last 19 years of real estate Tom Moore.
Gosh. Oh,
Maybe not so much in terms of 30+ years of Tom Moore.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Well, as Q said, I know Q as Coach Q. So when I first met Q, he was the productivity coach for the office that I was the assistant team leader at. So we got to be good friends, and I love his energy and excitement, and that always inspires me as well. And I think having that level of energy is definitely an inspiration to you guys as well. And that's very evident in the course of the team meeting as well. So having served in different leadership roles, as you said, I've been a team leader, assistant team leader, 2 different offices. I've also done coaching, mentoring as well in that time frame. So I've been licensed for, well, about 10 years. So prior to that, I was actually in the medical field for a good number of years, owned my own business in the medical field for 12 years as a medical consultant. So there was a lot of different dynamics that changed within the medical field itself, where I had to kind of look for a different pathway, just because that one looked like it was coming to a close, and I could see kind of the signs of where that was going. So that's where I decided to venture into real estate at that point.
Oh, you know what, Tom? You just moved on to my second question. Why real estate?
So I had my business that was in real estate. I was incorporated. I went around and would assist physicians with actually setting up their offices from the ground up.
Okay.
So infrastructure, systems, models, tools, everything, training the staff, basically how to systematize their office where there's less wait time in the lobby, because you all go to the doctors and the wait time's forever, right? So it's like how to minimize that, and then how to streamline the process, realizing there's a lot of redundancies on a lot of the forms and stuff. So really just kind of honing in and just making it more streamlined. So with that, over the course of time, we were doing workers' comp and personal injury, which is regulated by the state of California. So they have a fee schedule. So in doing so, a lot of these physicians decided to no longer own their private practices and join medical groups. Well, the medical groups actually already had people that was doing what I did.
Right.
So, and if I talk fast, it's because I'm excited. So this is how my listing presentation goes. Here, just sign here. Let's get through this, right? So, but anyway, so during that time frame when I was kind of exploring what to do, my daughter was dating this guy. And of course, when your daughter's dating a guy, you want to find everything you possibly can out about them, their family, their horses, their turtles, everything, right? So it's like, come to find out, he's now my son-in-law, actually. But his father is a real estate broker and his mother is a realtor. So of course, in the normal conversation, you know, real estate always comes up a lot of times in the conversation. So when I was kind of sharing what was going on with my experience and everything, he says, you know what, you'd be really good in real estate. And I said, well, how's that? I wasn't seeing the connection there. He said, well, you've owned your own business, you're in front of people, you talk to people, have a lot of conversations. And I'm all, okay, yeah, you care about people, you've been in the medical field, and in real estate, we do the same thing. I'm all, okay, I can kind of see some parallelism with that. So I kind of ventured into it, and I thought, okay, you know what? That's a complete paradigm shift for me. So I thought, if I can study the materials and I grasp it and I understand and I really feel I can do this, then I'm all in. So I did. So a friend of mine gave me the real estate principles and practice book. I started reading. It's like, I get it. Okay, where do I sign up? So I went and I took the exam. I passed it first time through. And then it was like, so I was friends with multiple different realtors at that point. So if you're getting into the industry, right? So I was invited to become part of an office, another brokerage. And in doing so, I was attending, now this was actually while I was getting licensed. I was actually going to the office and I was in role play, scripting, learning the contract, shadowing at open houses. I mean, shadowing with door knocking, because my thought pattern was, if I was licensed today, I wouldn't know how to use it tomorrow. I mean, simply because you have, like your son, you have a driver's license, doesn't mean you're a proficient driver, right? It takes time to develop that skill. So it was like, that was my thought pattern with getting licensed. So that's why I wanted to attend as often as I could. And so ultimately scale that forward, pass the exam. And now I was licensed. I knew exactly how to read the contracts, how to role play, how to script. Now I could do my own open houses, and I was ready to dive right in.
I love that.
Essentially, that's where the transition occurred.
Awesome. And speaking of scripting and role play, so Tom, like, what's your daily routine?
My daily routine is probably going to sound a little bit different than the direction you're probably going on that. So,
Oh, shoot.
sorry.
I should have got these answers before.
So my day actually starts many days before the day itself. So I'm really big about time blocking, which I know that in Ignite and everything, you guys are probably learning that, or you do it yourself. Having it on your schedule is critical, because what's the whole law say? If it's not on your schedule, it does not exist, right?
Yeah.
So you've got to fill up your time block schedule, and you've got to front load your week, obviously, because
So when you say front load, like, what does that mean? For some people may not know what that means.
So front load your schedule is pack everything you can at the front part of your week, Monday, Tuesday, even Wednesday, because what will happen is the things that you can't get to basically fills up your Thursday, Fridays, right? So you want it, because Thursday, Fridays, you're basically, now you're in preparation mode for the weekend, right? You're getting ready for open houses, door knocking, because that's when people are available, right? They're home on the weekend. So you want to be available when they are. So I would always front load everything that I needed to do earlier in the week, so that I was able to free up my weekends for, time to dive in and do that. But
okay, so your weekends, that's your main activity in terms of, meeting people face to face, doing open houses, maybe showing properties, listing appointments and things like that.
correct.
Okay.
And so,
Yeah.
and like part of my routine on a daily basis is, definitely connecting with my, with my contacts that are in my CRM. So I'm an advocate of KW, of course, so I use Command. And I have tags and everything. So I'll actually pull up, I have everybody on tags as far as like pipelines. I have pipeline sellers, pipeline buyers, pipeline contingency, which means they're both buyer and seller. So I'll start and I'll filter them out on the filters, and I'll go pipeline sellers, and I go down the list and I start connecting with everybody. Then I go pipeline buyers, then I remove the word pipeline, then I go all sellers, then I go all buyers. Because you always tackle the low-hanging fruit first, because if you're in your pipeline, that means they're within a short proximity of wanting to transact, right? So that's where my day basically starts out and goes. Some people, do the miracle morning, where they start with like reading, praying, and devotion and stuff like that. And my days will vary and have a portion of that, but unfortunately, I'm inconsistent with that, because once I kind of show up and start getting go mode, it's kind of hard to slow me down. So I tend to not do that often. Is I need to get back to that. I don't read as often as I probably need to and should. I'm advocate of the MREA, the Red Book, the one thing, and then also the Shift book as well. And I think a lot of it has to do with just getting your mindset into what your day is going to achieve. It's like, what do you hope to achieve or aspire to achieve at the end of the day? And that's how you want to, place yourself as your thought pattern for the start of your morning.
I love that. And I love the fact that you brought up a pipeline seller, pipeline buyer, pipeline contingency. And I think sometimes, we'll have people in our world that are actually going to do something, but then for some reason, we just stop calling these people.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But for you, it's like, no, I'm still going to reach out to these people. You know what I mean? And I love that. And that's definitely something that I hope you guys are taking note of, because it happens to a lot of us. It's like, yeah, the person said they're going to buy in 2 months. I'll just follow up with them later. It's like, no. keep them active, follow up with these people first, and then go out to your pipeline, cause like Tom was saying, pipeline seller, pipeline buyer, pipeline contingency, and then you remove that tag, and then you're calling sellers, then you're calling buyers.
Right.
So I love that, that's a good nugget there. Now, Tom, now obviously with the whole NAR settlement and everything like that transpired, has that impacted your business at all?
Not in a negative way. It's
Oh, okay.
actually allowed the conversations on the listing side. I'm about 90% listings, 10% buyers. And so I'm very familiar with the listing agreement, even the new one. So actually, I had a listing appointment the same day on 7/24, the day that actually came into place, right? Because I was already like prepping for the listing like we all do. And of course, the old form was still in there. And all of a sudden now, the day of my appointment, that it didn't exist anymore. So I had to like implement. So I started to kind of fill in some of the basics and set up the new template like you can do in the car forms. So, but yeah, no, the conversation has actually been relatively simple because I think the mindset a lot of these sellers is that whole 6% thing. And then of course, the media tried to, make that very askew, like, oh, you don't have to pay 6% anymore. So, which up front, that's true, right? But at least when you're having your conversation, you're negotiating just your side of the sale. But I think having a very transparent conversation with the seller to let them know what the expectation, we talked about expectations are, that you are more than likely going to be asked to contribute towards the buyer's broker's, compensation, and to be very open-minded of that fact, despite what you're hearing on the news. Because what will happen is simply because it became an overnight rule, doesn't mean that overnight instantly every buyer can afford to pay their realtor now, right? Would you agree?
Absolutely.
So it's like, so a lot of these buyer pools that are out there buying, they've got just enough money for the down payment, the closing cost, and maybe a little fluff money for what they want to maybe change out the carpet or whatever, that they're making that decision to buy that house based upon knowing they have that pocket of money to actually do that once they buy the house. Now, if they have to allocate those funds towards, buying your house, that's gonna limit the buyer's audience significantly than wants to buy your house. And it's like, do you want your home to sit on the market for a long period of time, or you want to get it sold this weekend? So no, I want to get it sold. Okay, so let's be open-minded. Let's actually allocate what that's going to be now so that we can work it into the net sheet. So we have a conversation around that, and I put it into the net sheet. So all of my net sheets actually have compensation, by the way, for a buyer's broker. So if one of you are it, you're gonna get paid. So. So.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I love how you like you said, you make it transparent and you're explaining the fact of, do you want to get your house sold today or in a month or whatever, right?
Right.
And also in terms of the price too.
Well, and I think there's actually a big plus for this, at least on the buying side, because before you had to accept whatever was offered on the MLS, right? Unless you put that, what was it, the CBC form,
Yeah.
that you would, ask for more money, and majority of the time that was probably declined, unless it was a unique circumstance where they were willing to do it. But majority of the time, so as opposed to now, you can actually show your value, prove your value, and document your value. And a lot of times, if you develop enough of rapport and relationship, and you've done your homework leading up to that appointment, they usually will not question whatever amount you put down. Obviously, it's got to be reasonable, but I mean, whatever amount that you put down for compensation as the buyer's agent, and the fact that I explained, expect to get something high because the agent can't make more than what they're already in contract for on the buyer's broker agreement. So, but just know that we can negotiate, and if they bring us a sweet offer, it's well over and above this price. And I mean, there's not an opportunity we'd likely get that with any other buyer. It may be very worth your while to actually compensate a little bit more on that. It's like you're rewarding that agent for bringing a very well-qualified buyer with a great offer on the table. So again, a lot of it is, like you said, setting expectations and having very transparent conversations at the time of your appointment.
Yeah, and I love that. I love the fact that how you ended there with the fact of rewarding the agent for bringing such a great offer. You know what I mean? Like, I love that because if you think about it, I mean, sellers like, well, yeah, even if I am offering compensation, I'm still walking away with a good amount of money that I'm satisfied with.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yes, I definitely love that. So Tom, obviously, real estate, there's ups and downs, roller coasters. So Tom, so what do you do to stay motivated, to stay focused?
I think because of the fact that I owned a previous business, that I knew what I needed to do, where I needed to be, and by when, right? It's kind of like if you owned not a donut shop, because I don't think of donuts. If you owned
already think of donuts now.
if you owned a sandwich shop, right? You're the owner of a sandwich shop. You know exactly how much bread needs to be ready. Think like a Subway, right? You walk in, everything's ready. Well, there's a lot of work that went into making sure that was ready when you walked in the door to get the sandwich. how much bread, everything's gotta be chopped and refined and everything's ready to go. The personnel that you need, the chips, the soda, everything's gotta be ready. Nobody had to tell you because you knew it needed to be done, otherwise it's gonna affect the outcome of your business. So I think as a business owner, when you go into it and know what needs to get, what you need to do to get done at the end of the day to accomplish, how many appointments are you looking to set, how many transactions are you looking to close? It's like you set up your schedule on a daily basis for that. And I think that is probably a motivating factor for me. And I'll share a quick story. You know how we do business planning? You guys are probably did it or are about to do it now, right? You do business planning in preparation for the following year. And sometimes you put together your storyboard and stuff like that, and you've got these aspirations of what you'd like to achieve. For some people, it's monetary. You want so much money. For some, it's I'd like to close this many transactions. So of course, I went through the motions, did all that as well. In January, I got COVID. This was a couple of years ago, okay? And COVID had been around for a couple of years, and I somehow, went unscathed until 2 years later, and then I caught it good.
Yeah.
So I was in the hospital, the whole 9 yards and everything. So all of a sudden, it's like my business went on hold. And I don't know if any of you that maybe had COVID, but you ever experience that brain fog afterwards? Whereas you just kind of feel like, I don't feel like doing anything. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to interact with anybody. But as a business owner, which you are, you're not just, Kira McGlory with a real estate license, you're Kira McGlory real estate business, right? Or,
Absolutely.
whatever you call you call your business entity. So I think if you look at yourself as a business entity, it's like, I can't survive with that mindset. It's like, I've got to snap out of this, right? And so I think I was like revisiting my business planning and looking at my GPS and 411s, which those of you at Ignite should know what that is. Wes knows. So, but, I thought, God, do I reset up? Do I reestablish? And so I kind of changed my mindset at that point. And it was like, rather than look at how many transactions do I want to close, I looked at it as how many people's lives can I affect a positive change through real estate?
Wow, love that.
And then it's like, how do you put a number on that? It's sky's the limit when you think of it from that vernacular, right? So it's like, and with that mindset, I went out and I was like, I need to talk to somebody else. I need to talk to somebody else because somebody out there wants to buy or sell real estate that I just haven't met yet. So I'm going to go out and actually meet them. And then what's it going to take for me to get in front of them, right? So prospecting looks different for a lot of different people. And you just have to obviously find your niche of what you get excited about. When I was in leadership, I did this exercise at a team meeting just like this once. And I said, hey, I want you to yell out at me all the things that you're passionate about that you really enjoy doing on a daily basis. So people were throwing stuff out and I was writing it up on the board and everything. So we went around the room and I said, all right, as a real estate business, what's the one thing you have to do in order to succeed in your business? It was quiet like this. And so you got to prospect. And I said, prospecting never made it on that list. Why is that? Yes.
Drop your wallet.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is problem in restaurants too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
In your
Oh,
phone.
And my phone all over the place. Sorry. Thank you so much.
Good eye, Gauss.
Thank you. So I said, what's the one thing you need to, make it in your business is you've got a prospect. So I said, I asked you, tell me what you're passionate about, you really enjoy doing on a daily basis. But I said, since it didn't make it up there, that tells me you guys really don't enjoy prospecting. So I said, so the big question is, how can we make prospecting fun? Right? So then it dials down into what is it that you're really passionate about within your business? What is it that you feel is your niche? And for some people, they love getting on the phones. For some people, they love door knocking. They love that face-to-face interaction. Other people love open houses. Other people love, working social media. So for me, my outlet of main source of us prospecting is social media. And through sphere of influence and referrals through those resources. And so I get excited about getting up every day and getting to do what I love to do, which is interact with people and generate sales, doing it in a way that I'm excited about. Because if you're not excited about the way you're prospecting, you probably aren't going to prospect very efficiently. Wouldn't you agree? So.
Yeah, as you say, you literally answered like 2 of my questions.
Oh, good.
Right there.
Okay.
Awesome, I love it. So Tom, so if you can go back in time and go to the young Tom Moore, just recently got his real estate license, like, is there anything that you would change with your business, what you did back then and what you're doing now?
I would. And back in the day, I think because I was transitioning from coming out of the business I owned, which was very scalable. I knew exactly how much I was going to make, when it was going to come in. to now changing into an industry where now this is all commission based, and like he's talking about the trends and the market slowing down and when it's gonna pick back up and when's that next check gonna come through. I was a dual career agent getting started. So of course, for me getting started, it was like all about the money. So it was like, I gotta get that money, I gotta get that check, and where's that gonna come from? And so I started like chasing money at that point, and to realize that when you have that mindset of chasing money, it kind of becomes a part of you to where every conversation kind of travels that path and people can pick up on that. And all of a sudden they start smelling commission breath, right? And it's like, okay, how can I get away from that commission breath smell and not be part of that pool that it's all about the money which is actually on the cover of the MREA. It's not about the money, right?
Yeah,
So, which
absolutely.
you kind of like, and that's why I switched and came to KW is because it aligned with my core values of that as well, was because if anybody's been to Vegas, you know, you lose money real fast, like it takes long time to make the money and you can drop it like that, right? So, but it's kind of like, if I'm not chasing the money, I would much rather chase after the people, develop rapport and relationship with people. Because if you look at it from that perspective, without the people, there's no transaction. Without the transaction, there is no money, right? So then it was all about what can I do to pour myself into people? So if I could go back, I would go back and have started back then pouring myself into people. But again, for me, my mindset was not in that direction. It was all about the money and thinking real estate, and I can make a bunch of money selling real estate. And it was just, I think everything was so wrapped around that. And I was surrounded by people like, ooh, look at my Rolex watch and driving this BMW. And it's like, so you can kind of get caught up into that, unfortunately. But I think if you scale it back and really look at the core of what it takes to actually transact, the core is the people themselves. You got to pour yourself into the people, know everything about them you possibly can, to where your conversations are very organic. I mean, we do role play and scripting and everything so that you know what to say. So when you come upon a conversation, you're like, it actually just comes off like regular dialogue because you know your scripts are, well, same thing with your objection handling, right? But it's like, those of you that have been, how many of you have been in Ignite before? A few people, okay. So in Ignite, we have what's called the FORD acronym. How many of you are familiar with the FORD acronym, right? Okay, so FORD is family, occupation, recreation, dreams, right? So since I haven't cold called in like 10 years. I do all warm calling.
Yeah.
So because this is all sphere of influence and referrals. So I already have a foot in the door because of just the people I'm talking with. So my conversations go along the line of, how's the family doing? Check in with the family and everything. Dive deep within the family. Because what will happen is when you ask questions about their family, they intuitively will ask, so how's your family doing, right? So it kind of creates a reciprocal conversation. So then we get to, of course, to the occupation. I talk to them about their job. So what's their natural response? Asking me about mine. Funny you should ask, So it's like I a lot of times never get to the dream, the FORD. I never get to the dream part of it because dreams was already part of a conversation during the occupational. I just kind of worked it in there, right? And then of course, recreation, talk about, the things that they've done. Did they get a chance to take the family anywhere? When you build it all around them, a lot of times I actually never even talk about real estate. I won't talk about selling their home, buying a home or anything like that, because I want it to be a very natural flowing, organic conversation that when like I'm done with that call, it's like, well, he didn't ask me a thing about selling my home, buying my home or anything else, because I don't want it to where the next time Tom Moore flips up on that phone is, he's going to ask me for a referral. He's going to want to know if I would buy or sell a home. I ain't got time to talk to this guy. And it's like, I didn't want to be known as that, right? So it's just like, so you'll find that as you start working with people and having those very organic conversations, it becomes a very natural flowing conversation, just using the FORD model. Always remember FORD. Even if you have to write it down, put it on in front of on your desk or whatever like that, as a reminder, like a trigger to ask those questions. Those are so key. I love that model because it works. And I mean, you really develop rapport and relationships with people. And so I didn't mean to get off on a little tangent there, but it was like, if I could go back, I wish I'd have been a part of KW then, that I'd have learned the core values and the systems and the models and the technology, which evolved subsequently to that. But back then, because I feel that if I would have been able to scale my business back then,
Right.
what it has become now, I think I'd have been even further along within the time frame that I've been licensed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now, you kind of mentioned the fact of your dynamic in terms of 90% of your business is sellers and 10% is buyers. The question I was gonna ask you, who do you prefer to work with? But all right, guys, sounds like you prefer to work with sellers
Right.
than buyers, right? So Tom, you know, agents out there that may be struggling right now, obviously, you know, with the market, maybe your experienced agent that's struggling or a brand new agent that's getting into something that you've never experienced before. Like, what's one or two pieces of advice that you can share with them?
I would dive deep into relationship building with your sphere. Your sphere of influence already knows who you are. You already have a foot in the door in the conversation. And so I would dive deeper into those conversations and let them kind of evolve in a reciprocal conversation like I was mentioning. And especially in the holiday time, things are slowing down. A lot of times I'll have conversations like, you know, and sometimes I'll kind of work in like, hey, keep me in mind. I just say, hey, I know we're getting up upon the holiday season. A lot now there's Friendsgiving that's out there now, right? So as you get together with your friends and your family and stuff, you know, if you happen to hear of any conversation about people maybe wanting to move out of state, upsize, downsize, keep me in mind. Right, which means if they themselves are just, well, you know, now that you mentioned that, I've actually been thinking about selling my house. It will kind of evolve into that conversation by kind of skirting around it and asking it by through somebody else. Because then again, you're not going after them. You know, you can go after it once or twice, but if every single time you hit them up in a conversation, you're constantly drilling them for a referral or constantly drilling them for that, you're going to be known as that person where after a while, they're going to kind of dismiss.
Yeah, you're not gonna get a Friendsgiving.
I'm not even gonna be up to the fence, you know, and it's like, I want to make sure that, you know, every single time that they
Yes.
call, they pick up the phone because they want to talk with me,
Sure.
or they respond to my text because they want to. For those reasons, because dive deep and build that rapport. And simply because somebody's not ready to transact now doesn't mean after the first of the year they won't be. You know, majority of the people you guys probably call, they're probably not in a position to list today, right? So nurture them. That's when I go in and I flag them pipeline seller and I start building my database of as much information and I'll check in with them, you know, holiday time, send cards, you know, send something, you know, tangible to them, do a drop off a pie, whatever your circumstance might be, especially to your pipeline people, because you're about to transact with them, right? So those are all things that I actually do
Yes.
as far as developing that rapport, because it does tend to slow down this time of year in the season. So it's like what we're doing now is building your pipeline for what's going to happen after the first of the year. So I think to scale your business, I think it's scaling your business today for next year, which is why business planning is part of the big core of what we do. So
Absolutely, absolutely. So before I let you go, Tom, thank you for everything that you shared with us today. I want to give you guys opportunity to ask some questions. So I want to hear at least three good questions for Tom. He took time out of his day, of his busy schedule to be with us today. So I want to hear these three questions from you guys. William.
How big is your database?
my database, it's actually only about 850 people.
I like if you said only 850 people.
Well, no, I say that because some people, well, I said that way because I had a lot more in there that were just
Okay.
like a phone number that didn't work, an email that didn't work, and I had like no connection. So I scrubbed my database and got rid of the fluff because I don't want to look at a number like, oh yeah, I've got 1,500, I got 15,000 people in there. And it's like, well, it'll take you forever to get through it, but it's,
Yeah.
you know, but then again, it's like, okay, if I've refined it and I've got only 850 in there, I've cored that down to where if I make contact with 850 people, somebody's going to transact, right?
Absolutely.
So, and especially if you've cored it down and you're developing rapport and relationships. Now, granted, I don't have relationships with 850 people, but you know, the people that are in my pipeline, yes. One of the things, how many of you are on social media? You know, whether it's Facebook or Instagram.
Everything needs to be up.
Yeah. So use it. So one of the things that I'll leave with this as far as that goes. Whenever I'll put a post out there, okay, so you have a lot of people that will sit on the fence, they see your stuff, they just don't interact, right? They don't hit like, they don't say, you know, don't comment or anything, but they see you. How to know that is post a story, and all of a sudden you have a ton of people that's like, they didn't comment, they didn't like anything. So what I'll do is I'll actually go through and I'll look at how many of those people that liked either on a story or liked on a post that's in my sphere of influence that I haven't talked to in a while. And I'll write their names down. So that's an excuse because they interacted with you. So now it's your time to interact with them. So now it's a reason to give them a call. It's a reason to interact with them. And I have found that to be very effective with developing a rapport with somebody. In fact, and you'll actually be on the receiving end of a call to list somebody's house when you develop that type of a rapport with somebody. So I actually had a listing that I took in La Habra Heights. It was the one I sold for 1.8. And in fact, where's my phone?
It's
On the
all-
floor. Of course it is.
Best place where it needs to be.
I know, yeah. So hang on. Give me just a quick second here. Let me pull up this guy's name. So. No, I'm not gonna make comment. So this was a guy, I've known this guy for years on Facebook, hardly ever talked with him, but yet he saw me and he saw that I sold another property that was in the adjoining area. And he's also friends with that person on social media and saw that. So didn't hear from this guy. And all of a sudden I'm out camping one day and this was the text I got. What's that first line read?
You want to sell my house?
1.8 million, it was actually 1.7, but I sold it for 1.8. But it was, but that's what I'm saying, all because of social media, all because I had posted something and he was on a fly on the wall. Now, I wish that this was one I wished I could say, this was one that I reached out to because he hit like, but this was a guy that just sits there on the fence. He was not interactive, but he was on there and he saw my stuff. And that's what prompted him to reach out to me. And that was part of the conversation. I see you just sold Mark and Leah's house down the street for 1.5. We've been thinking about selling our house and I want to know, do you want to sell my house? Oh, yeah. So all that transpired as a result of just being on social media, putting your success stories out there, your wins, your activities, your door knocking, everything that you're doing, because your sphere of influence sees you're out there hustling, which means that if I hire you, you're going to be doing the same thing for me. And so you create that image again of your business. And it's like, what's the image you want to be known by within your sphere of influence? And that should definitely be it, in my opinion. So.
I love it. All right.
Sorry.
All right, two more.
Yes.
Tina.
So besides social media, how do you leverage your listing to get your next listing?
Leverage it as far as
Use your listing, and then what do you do to get
like another listing as a result of that listing?
Yes.
Well, definitely having your sign up in the yard, circle prospecting. So
So in terms of circle prospecting, for everyone that may not know what circle prospecting is, what is circle prospecting?
So circle prospecting is you have your sign in your yard and I go and circle prospect means around a circumference of your listing, make sure that everybody in that community knows who you are.
So
You're introducing yourself, you're knocking doors, you're flyer dropping. Yeah, you're making yourself known to them. You're inviting them. My actual signs a lot of times are like an invitation to the open house. And I love knocking on doors, by the way, that say no soliciting. Those are the best.
I'm not telling you guys to do that.
This is a true story. Because when they say, can't you read my sign, they kind of get your face about that. I said, I'm so sorry, sir. I'm actually not here to sell you anything. I just listed a house a couple doors down and I wanted to personally invite you as my guest to my open house. You already live here, obviously, so you love the neighborhood. This is an opportunity for you to choose your new neighbor. So I wanted you to see the home. You might know somebody that you might like to be your neighbor. All of a sudden, their demeanor changes. All of a sudden, now they're your best friend. He actually shows up at the open house. So then I greet him, shake him by hand, offer him whatever goodies that we have there at the time, and all of a sudden he takes up. So again, you'll have to kind of hit and miss that depending upon, what the experience is. But when you have a listing, now you have that leverage that you're saying that you can use that and develop that rapport in the neighborhood. So then it's kind of like when you do your open houses, make a big splash because it's like you're being interviewed silently by your neighbors, by the neighbors of that listing, right? Put signs out, however many signs you own, make sure every single one of them is in the field. You even borrow some if you need to. Make a big splash, signage, everything that you can do so that when somebody drives down the house, like, ooh, what's going on over there? It's like a big party, like a big event going on. So I've done mega open house where I'll set up canopies. We'll put like food in the front yard. We'll have like toss across or what's that thing called? Cornhole. Cornhole. I'm dating myself with toss across. So
I've never heard toss across before.
Sorry. Some of the older guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, the cornhole game and stuff like that. Anything that you can do to keep people on the property because It's kind of like if you're in a mall and all of a sudden a group of people are like doing something, your curiosity is, well, I wonder what's going on there, right? So it's the same thing at an open house. You get a lot of people that's there and all of a sudden people are wondering what's going on there. I need to go check this out. So, and then if people are walking through the house and it's busy and trafficy within there, it's kind of like, ooh, this must be a hot place to do. This guy's doing a good job. We've been thinking about listing our home. I need to give this guy a call, you know, type of thing. So you never know what's in the mindset of the people that are walking through. So I think you have to look at every listing as an opportunity for at least 2 or 3, if not more, listings is if not, you know, additional buyers as well. You know, because usually if you're selling, you have to buy somewhere,
Yeah.
whether it's here or there. And then it's if they're out of state, look for an opportunity to provide value by setting them up with another KW agent in wherever state that they're going, and now you get a referral fee. So,
Thank you.
sure, you're welcome.
All right, one more. Gals.
Your open houses, the time. And how many hours? And why?
The time, the hours, and why, okay? So a lot of that will have to do with my client's schedule, if it's owner occupied, obviously, what will work if they've got dogs and, you know, babysitting stuff that they need to arrange. The typical that you see out there is like 1 to 4. I won't do earlier morning open houses on a Sunday because you have a large population of people that will go to church and stuff like that, and then they go out to eat after church. So I've noticed just by experience that when I try doing like a 10 to 2 or 11 to 2 or whatever like that on a Sunday, it's like dead until like 1 o'clock. So it's like I've been there all this time, they're all showing up in the last hour. So usually I'll do like on a brand new open house, I'll do like 11 to 4 on a Saturday. So I kind of incorporate some people that are out and about in the morning and then into the afternoon. And then on Sundays, I usually do like a 1 to 4. Now in the summertime, I actually listed this property and I looked at the weather and it was supposed to be like over 100 degrees. So, and it was like, even my seller said, I think maybe we should cancel the open house. I said, why is that? Guy's going to be so scorching hot today. It's been so hot lately. It's even going to get hotter yet. I just don't think anybody's going to come out. I said, would you be open for an earlier morning open house? Yeah, so I did an open house starting at 8 o'clock in the morning and we were done by 11 o'clock in the morning. I did an 8 to 11 and did an 8 to 11, right? And I had so many people come through.
Wow.
And the agent that actually brought the buyer that bought the property showed up within that window.
Wow.
Which means if we'd have canceled it, we probably would have done a private showing, but I don't know. Or if we'd have done it in the afternoon, maybe that buyer wouldn't have been available at that time frame. So sometimes you have to look at the circumstances and stuff, you know, like if it looks like it's going to be rain or something like that, you might use that as a guide because people are more apt to come out when it's not raining, although people do, you know, come in rain, but so sometimes those variables will play a role because I look at it as every moment that passes, you can't get that time
Right.
back.
Mhm.
So how can I be most purposeful in the time that I'm allocating toward that task, right?
Sure.
So if I'm going to allocate 3 or 4 hours at an open house, I want to make sure it is during the time frame that I'm going to get the most activity, the most traffic, have the most conversations, and you know, with the end of selling that property or getting some new clients, you know, some new leads as a result within that time frame. So I always look at where to shift that based upon those circumstances.
Thank you.
And you said why? Like, why does he do open houses, or was it like those just the time frame?
The timing.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
8 to 11. What city was that?
This was in La Habra.
Oh,
No, I'm sorry, it was Whittier.
oh, wow, okay.
So it was a condo.
Yeah.
So yeah.
8 to 11. that's
It's
awesome.
11, yeah. And I think
Yes.
the agent with their client showed up around like 9:30ish.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, people say.
So it does work, yeah. So it's kind of like door knocking in a sense. You know, you go out there, I know we're over, huh? Sorry. Sorry. Like when you're door knocking, it's kind of like, when's the best time to door knock? Okay, so I look at it as, all right, where's the time frame that I'm going to talk to the most amount of people, right? And not just talk to people, actually get deep conversations and get appointments from, right? Because that's the whole purpose of door knocking, right? Is to get contact information, leads, and that eventually leads to a transaction. So I've tried it in the mornings. Sometimes I won't talk to a whole lot of people. I have found that most of the time, Mondays and Fridays are not good days, right? Monday's the first day of the week. People are just kind of dying. You know, they're on the grind. Fridays, it's like I'm getting ready to go out of town. Got a lot going. It's their day off. Don't bug me. So I figured out Tuesdays, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday were always my best times for door knocking, and I would always do it later in the afternoon. You know, now if it's daylight savings time, anywhere from like 3 to 6, right? Because now I'm catching people, they're out watering their their yard, they're walking their dogs, they're in the neighborhood, they're home. A lot easier of a conversation to take place because they're a lot more receptive to talking with you during the
Yeah.
time. So, you know, I'm like a data guy, so I would always look, okay, I was here from here, how many doors did I hit, how many people did I talk to, how many appointments did I get? And I looked at that data in Silch. And it's like, okay, I need to change this. If I'm gonna go door knocking, I need it to be, productive.
Yeah.
So that's when I kind of started changing different days, different times, and then I kind of found that niche time, which was Tuesday through Thursday, later in the afternoons, and I found out that was the most effective time, at least for me. And maybe that might dictate different, or I'm sorry, would be different depending upon the neighborhood that you're also in as well. So.
Awesome. Awesome.
Anyway.
One last question.
I'm so.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, so-
Haley.
Y'all are hungry.
Yes, how do you keep track of your data? Do you taking notes or you using a name?
Is this while I'm in the field, like door knocking or in conversation or?
Yes, like the efficiency of your activities. How do you keep track of your efficiency using data?
So if I'm out in the field and I'm door knocking or something, I'll have something to write with, and I'll write information down, the address, the person's name, and then I obviously try to gather as much content or like contact information as I can from them. And then I'll go in, now that I have those parameters, I'll put those into my command. So then now I can track them. I add a task, when to follow up. I put them on there, that what they were a lead, and they were a lead from door knocking in a particular area. If I was circle prospecting, or if I was just canvassing an area for the sake of farming, right? So it just depends on. The concept is the same as far as gathering the information, but as far as the concept of the follow-up is a little bit different based upon the notes that I put in the CRM.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, it sounds like you guys are hungry. I hope this was helpful. Let's give a hand to Mr. Tom Moore.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so Mr. Jacob Wagner, he is our amazing lunch sponsor today, so he's gonna share some more inspection stuff before you guys dig in food. So come on down, Mr. Jacob Wagner.
Thank you, quick. How's it going, everybody? Well, some of you guys know me.
Oh, it's favorite, you're not Prius hatchback, everybody.
A silver Honda hatchback, so I'm like, wait a minute. Definitely.
Like the Robo Hunter store? Like,
Is it right on the corner?
yes. Did you park in front of it?
Yeah.
You?
No, not a silver Honda hatchback. And I'm like, you sure it's a Prius for sure?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not me, but I'm right there on the corner.
Prius and Honda's.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty different, but
Yeah,
it's
they
a
are.
hatchback and it's silver and it's on the corner, so I'm worried. Anyway, how's it going, everybody? Some of you guys know me, some new faces here. Hello, my name is Jacob, Morrison Plus Property Inspections. I brought the tacos. I think that's gonna be my thing here. with you
Yeah,
guys.
you'll be the
Seems
top.
like you like them.
Yes, we love.
I don't know, I asked him, he said.
Tom loves tacos, so I'm gonna like, let's get tacos from Tom.
Trying to fit everything on that little table, so.
fan.
Yeah, but for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jacob Morse Plus Property Inspections, new franchise owner for the Corona based area. We obviously work with Chino, Corona, Norco, Eastville, Chino Hills. That's kind of like my little sector for our franchise. And we like to pride ourselves in a lot of things, as most home inspectors do. Obviously, we're well trained, we're thorough. We offer a lot of services, from termite to chimney to mold, sewer scoping, all kinds of stuff like that. So we like to think of ourselves as the one-stop shop. There you go.
There you
Like
are.
that. Absolutely. And something I usually try and push a lot with our agents or let them know is like one of the things that we really like to do is we like to pride ourselves with how we communicate with our buyers. The biggest thing with the home inspector is you want to make sure that the home inspector is helping your buyers really understand what they're buying, right? Your job isn't to tell them this is everything that's wrong with your house, right? We want to tell them, hey, these are some of the things that are outdated. These are some things that are newer, right? We're pointing at all these different things and we're letting them know, hey, more so we want you to understand what you're buying because this is going to be probably one of your biggest investments you ever purchase in your life. So you have to understand what that comes with. And a lot of people are coming from rentals. They don't understand that a lot of the stuff that they're seeing on a home inspection. This is stuff that's on every single house. This is maintenance that you're going to get no matter what you do as becoming a homeowner. So we really try and help them understand that and help them alleviate some of their stresses by helping them know, hey, this is the kind of stuff that you're going to get unless you buy brand new. And even then we have some pretty crazy stuff with brand new houses, trust me. We see some crazy things. So yeah, I look forward to meeting a couple of you guys a little bit more. And I hope you enjoy the tacos. And yeah, I'll let you guys get to the food before it gets too cold.
All right, well, thanks so much.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for having me. Yeah, and I guess really quick, one more thing. Another thing that we like to, that kind of like, we're like trying to separate ourselves a little bit is, we're not just coming here and saying like, oh, hey, give us your business, we want to do your inspections, this and that. Obviously that's great. I appreciate that. But the one thing is that we would really like to show that, we want to support the offices that support us. We want to offer stuff that provides value. We want to come and sponsor these events. We want to help out. We want to, help do training, bring in certain materials and stuff that you guys may not, that you guys may want, like, hey, we're really not really, we don't have a lot of knowledge in this one specific area, or we could really use this. We're always taking ideas and we're willing to help and kind of adapt to whatever our office needs and formulate like different training programs or different things to be able to help them out. So that's the main thing, is we're really just trying, we really want to help support the offices and not just, show in and give us some flyers every month or so. We want to be active and active partners to help each other be better in, in this industry. So that's it.
Thank you so much. Exactly. Perfect. You got it. All right, guys, so I've got 3 questions for you. Was this helpful today?
Yeah.
Did you get value out of this today?
Yeah.
Are you gonna implement the things that Mr. Tom Moore shared with you in your business?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, perfect. Well, you answered my 3 questions. Now go in there and enjoy your lunch. Thank you much.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
I think so.
Yeah. Go back to the other side, just so I can take off.
Absolutely, for sure.
We'll get there.
Before I mess up, we have to go backwards.